It was a big night for me, my first 10-rounder in the garden. I was Bingo Vingo and nothing was going to stop me from winning the heavyweight crown someday. Carmine Vingo. Born in 1929 in the Bronx, New York, Carmine grew up a tough street kid who left home at 16, sleeping in cars and taking them for joyrides around the city until making a U-turn in a one-way street brought him to the attention of New York's finest and a more comfortable bed in a prison cell. It was whilst awaiting trial for carjacking that Carmine made a decision that would change his life. He would become a fighter. It was a decision that at first proved an obvious one, as his natural aptitude for battle made him a huge prospect, eventually attracting the attention of manager Jackie Levine and trainer of champions Whitey Bimstein. By the end of 1949, Carmine was showing well around New York, especially at the prestigious Madison Square Garden. He was building a reputation. Sure, he had lost a couple, but he was young, and when he won big, knockout after knockout, earning him the moniker of Bingo because, as a friend of his stated, when Carmine hits, bingo, the fight's over. As the year was coming to an end, the future looked bright for the boy who turned 20 on the 29th of December, the day before his headline showcase before his home crowd. Little did he know that his opponent was on his own ascent to the prize that Carmine coveted most. Rocky Marciano's management didn't want this fight. Rocky didn't care. They thought Carmine was too tough, a genuine slugger who they felt was dangerous. Marty Weil, then erstwhile manager of Marciano and son of Madison Square matchmaker Al Weil, argued with his father against it, but Al, who was really pulling the strings in the fighter's career and everyone knew it, demanded that the boy from Brockton was put on the card. Rocky must go in there against an equal, Al rasped. I don't want to be accused of favoritism. So, on December 30th, 1949, Carmine Vingo, the kid with a head filled with dreams, who had trained harder for this night than any other, who could boast that he now owned 3 pairs of brightly polished shoes and hadn't bothered learning a trade because he was certain where his future lay, walked the steps to the ring to face Rocky Marciano. We all know how this fight panned out. For Carmine it was the end of a short road to glory, for Rocky it was the turning point in a glorious career. But like everything, we only really see the surface. There is so much more bubbling just below, like how Carmine had defied the odds to even be there that night, how his career was a ticking time bomb just waiting to implode. Perhaps, in some strange way, it was fortunate that it was Rocky who pulled the trigger this night, because we still remember Carmine Bingo Vingo. He, like all those who faced the Rock from Brockton, like everyone who's ever entered the ring, is so much more than a footnote. Had his career ended at the hands of anyone else, he may have been forgotten, consigned to a mere statistic, a cautionary tale. So the fact that he walked that walk and stood toe-to-toe with a future champion of the world is a remarkable testament to his courage as a man, and a huge indictment of those who passed him fit to do so. For you see, as a child, Carmine Vingo had an accident. It left him with a damaged eardrum. He was deaf in his left ear. But more than that, it left him with a cracked skull.